All right, we're back at Old Car City, USA, northwest of Atlanta. Beautiful but cold winter's morning here. I was here before. It's 40 acres of abandoned classics. I couldn't get around the whole place the last time, so we're here for part two. But let's see how we go. Some of the cars I couldn't recognize, or I didn't really know what they were before. So we're going to have a go at identifying, or better identifying, what we see. And also there's heaps of new stuff we're going to find as well. So let's get going. Let's kick it off with a 59 Series 2 Cadillac. Definitely in restorable condition. This last ran in 89 according to the tag. Okay, so the wheels aren't original, but everything else looks pretty good. And we get round to the rear end and those amazingly famous twin bullet stoplights. 89. What a design. Stunning vehicle. Okay, my last video featured a Studebaker Commander, which I found in somebody's front yard, and they were kind enough to allow me to film it. And now I've found a Studebaker Champion, and because I've just looked it up, I think this is about a 47. Last ran in 1982, and they call it something like a business coupe or something. Yeah, we're right next to the highway here, so it's a little noisy. But I think they called this a business coupe from about 47. Split rear window and split windshield. And really quite an elegant design. So one model up in the lineup from the Studebaker Champion, the Studebaker Commander, as featured in a previous video, except that one had a split front, a split windshield, and this one doesn't. So maybe it's just slightly later. Okay, about a 67 or thereabouts Plymouth Executive. Obviously four-door sedan, which last ran, according to the tag, in 82. Now, I think this model, the Executive, was sort of a mid-range model, and the one above it was the Bonneville. All right, backed up against the fence here. Chrysler Imperial, another Chrysler. What's that? Then we have a Buick Riviera, Mercury Cougar, looks like a two-door coupe Lincoln Continental. And a Thunderbird. One for the Brits, a Sunbeam Alpine. So following on from that 59 Cadillac we saw just a moment ago, this is still a Series 62 as far as I know, but they simplified the fins after about 59. So I'm guessing this is like a 60-61. With a slightly simplified rear end. Let's go down the line. A Lincoln Premier, Pontiac of some description, another Riviera, and an Impala. From about 1970. Chrysler New Yorker, two-door coupe. So in what has now become part one of this visit to Old Car City, USA, I incorrectly called this a Ford Capri. I know it as a Ford Capri. back in the UK, but it was imported, built in Germany, Cologne, and imported to the USA and sold as a Mercury. So this is a Mercury Capri with a 1600 engine, and I think they also came in a 2-litre. The US version had the quad headlights. Certainly in the UK they were rectangular, other than I think the 3-litre V6 3-litre. So that is a Mercury Capri. So I think this is an Olds F85 from, could be from about 61. But what I like is the rear window design. Look at that. Well, that looks like the same rear window design, but that's on a Buick. And then this is another Olds F85 sedan. Not much of this one left, really. Chevy Caprice Estate hiding in the undergrowth over there from the so early to mid 80s. A Buick Electra 225 and a Buick LeSabre. Yeah, I found one of these in somebody's backyard not that long ago, a Mercury Comet. To be honest, I didn't know what it was when I first found it, but I'm beginning to like the sort of understated design of these cars. With its modest fins at the back. Wouldn't mind one of these in my garage, really. Nice little sedan. Beautiful. We're now in uncharted territory. I didn't get anywhere near this area last time. Let's go take a look, see what we can find. Well, back-to-back Cadillacs. This one Tennessee registered. 4-door sedan. So I guess it's a Sedan DeVille. It doesn't say. And another one, both from the very early 60s. Which in my opinion really was peak of American automotive design in terms of its flamboyance and elegance. Just beautiful. Another slightly later Cadillac, I think, and one over here too. So talking of Mercury Comets, and the one we've just seen was a Series 1. This is the Series 2 from about 65 to 67. So in other words, they increased the size in the mid-60s of the Comet from its modest first series to this one. And as it happens, right beside the second generation you see here is a first generation Comet. So another Capri, which here was the poor man's Mustang, sold with a little bit of European flair for like $2,500, something along those lines. For us, a Capri was the dog's bollocks. It was, you know, it was the car to have. It was the everyman's car, so every man could sort of, even family guys could kind of drive something that looked a bit sporty. But here it definitely played second fiddle to the Mustang. Last time I found a Cadillac Sedan DeVille with the flat top, which I later found out was that Series 62 introduced in 1960. And I went through to 61, I think, before they changed it again. But that's in my hypothetical American garage. So a 60 or 61 Sedan DeVille, a Buick Electra, the year I can't tell you. One of those little first generation Mercury Comets. And not sure what else, might be a bit boring for you guys, but that's what I kind of have in mind. Well, I came across this Mercedes Fintail the last time I was here, but I didn't really know what it was. Somebody said, I think in the comments, they said it could be a 300. I know with the extra chrome, certainly at the back, it's not a 190. So it could be a 300, it could be a 220S, something like that. Last registered in Georgia in 1981, this thing was cruising the streets. Once a beautiful car. Just up from the Mercedes is this. Not a particularly inspiring design, but in terms of what it is, I think it might be a Simca. Anybody know? Yep, ain't that the truth? So I think this is an Edsel Corsair from '59, named after Henry Ford's son, of course, and division of the Ford Motor Company. Yep, Edsel Corsair. If you can read it, there it is, Corsair. And 200 feet away, another Edsel. But is it a Corsair? It looks slightly different. Let's take a look. Well, it's actually a Ranger, an Edsel Ranger, which was basically the base trim of the lineup, and sold in the model years 58 to 60. Yep, that says Ranger. Alright, we're back in European corner. Let's see if I know a little bit more about these things after looking it up. So this is the Fiat 1100. It's actually an 1100D, introduced in 1962. Next to the Fiat is a Borgward Isabella, which embarrassingly I called a Buick last time. I don't know why I called it a Buick. Somebody in the comments said, that's a Borgward. So this is the Isabella from '59, built in Bremen in Germany, and apparently the company went bankrupt in '61, so that was the end of Borgward. And the Peugeot 404, built between '60 and '75, unless you happen to be in Kenya, when it was built all the way up until '91. So the Peugeots were a pretty rugged, reliable car, and there were heaps of them in Africa, including the venerable 504 station wagon, which was probably one of the most popular models there. Peugeot 404. Next to a Rabbit called the Golf in Europe. I had one of these, I think it was an '81. And that, somebody said in the comments, I think that's an Opel Kadett. Could be wrong. I think it's an Opel Kadett. And the Ford Anglia, I think that's the 105E. The Austin 1100 was introduced in the UK in '62. This could be the 1100 Austin. It could also be a Wolseley. They also made an MG, and they also made a luxury version, the Vanden Plas. So this was, I can't find any badging on this, but I think it might be a Wolseley. I didn't comment on this last time, but these were superb little cars. Fiat 124. Somebody also mentioned that in the comments. And on top of it is a Mitsubishi Colt. Bug, V-dub as they call them in Australia, Beetle as they call them pretty much everywhere else. And the sun is in exactly the wrong position as it was last time. I called that a Datsun. It's not, it's a Toyota. Early Toyota Crown? Yeah. I thought this was a Celica before, but it's not. It's a Corona Mark II. And that little wagon up there is another Opel Kadett. I'm pretty sure. It looks familiar, and somebody else mentioned it before as well. So back to the 1100 or the 1300, whichever model it is. In the 60s I grew up with things like this. And you guys grew up with things like this. So I think we're pretty close to wrapping this one up, guys. And I still haven't found that flat top Cadillac, the Series 62, that I wanted to revisit and is in my hypothetical American garage. Anyone want to know what's in my British hypothetical garage? Jaguar XJS pre-facelift, an Escort XR3i Mark II, Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow, I've had one of those, I'd like another one, the chrome bumper, and probably a Ford Cortina 1600E, which may mean something to some people, but not to others. So thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Again, I don't think I've covered everything. I've covered as much as I'm going to, I think, today. Maybe we'll come back again for another visit at some stage. That's it, guys. I'm out of time. We'll catch you on the next one.